Hey everybody, Jay Barino here and welcome back. We're playing Super Metroid. Got a lot done last episode, picked up some of the most critical items in the game. Made a circle down into Norfair twice. Defeated Kraid, the first major boss. And now we're back in Red Briarstar. So we still can't go through the Gate of No Return, but we can keep going up at Red Tower and seeing where it leads us. So let's get out some normal missiles and just spam away, because these enemies can do quite a lot of damage to you. And we can power bomb the floor here and go through a fake trap. And you can see because there isn't one of the grabbers that's coming out of it. Maybe sort of an indicator that it's fake. I'm not so sure. We jump back up, and then we're going to carefully small jump our way out. And then we're going to head upwards to find a new elevator. We'll see where this takes us. Now, doing this is not necessarily the most efficient path to take. We might actually want to go back down and go back into Norfair now that we have power bombs. But making a path up and around through Criteria again to pick up a few important things, I think this is the correct time to do it, so this is when I'm going to do it. So let's start running. We are back where our ship was. So this is nice. We can load up here. Certainly doesn't hurt. Your ship is the only place you can get all your ammunition back like that. We do not need to save at the ship. And rather than going back to the right, let's go back left into some of the areas we started the game at. We're going to bomb back through this. And we can use our speed booster here to just blast through all that stuff. That's exciting. These fellas now can be killed by our normal beam weapon, but it takes 3 shots, so, you know, missiles still kind of the way to go in my opinion. Also, now that we're here, we can go and check out our statue and see what's changed now that we've defeated Kraid. Okay. Seems pretty obvious. We need to find all those creatures and defeat them. And then the statue will update in some way. So again, just like the path we took in episode 1. Ow. We're going to head back into Green Briarstar. See, so now we didn't have to worry about that gate. We technically have a way around it. But now we have new tools so that we can collect some additional things now that we're here. Let's head into this room here where we could have mockballed to do some sequence breaking, but now we have speed booster to get by the gates proper. And come in and see what was waiting for us here. This is a reserve tank. It's not an energy tank. It's a reserve tank. When you're at full energy, what you can do is fill it up, and then when you hit 0 energy, it'll automatically give you a free energy tank full of energy. So it's basically like an extra E-tank, but it's used in emergencies only. So that little auto symbol that's to the left of my missiles, that's basically saying, hey, once you're at full, any energy you pick up will start filling up your reserve tank. So we want to make sure that does get full up. Now we can go up into the ceiling. Lots of enemies up here, but let's take these out. And we get a super missile. Now this is the super missile that would have allowed us to bypass Spore Spawn completely had we mockballed past those gates. Again, we're not sequence breaking, so we didn't do that. But that's why this room is so important. Okay, we'll head down to the bottom now, and we can break this floor with power bombs. We're going to keep going down. The game loves throwing you down long pits. These you don't even have to kill, we can just leave. Very exciting stuff. And there's a fake floor here. You could fall through it and then make your way back up to grab this. Just because I know it's there, I'm skipping that step, but it's actually pretty easy to get back to this. And another super missile. Very important stuff. Again, the more of these we have, the faster we can kill very heavily armored enemies. Now we can just fall. Let's reveal the save station. Then we're going to head through this next room, which can be pretty annoying. These hoppers with all the spikes and stuff, what I'm going to do is just power bomb them to kill them. And we're going to do baby hops. Okay, not bad. There's still another one. And it's very easy to get stuck in these spikes. When you're in there, it's hard to get out. So we have some animal buddies here, and they're going to teach us how to wall jump. Now, technically, we could have wall jumped at any time in the game, but this is where you kind of learn, where the game is showing you how to do it if you didn't know that this existed. But this is how you generally can sequence break using wall jumping. Okay, and then also they show you how to morph ball in midair. You saw one of them do it there, and I missed it. So they taught us, again, now that we've learned these movesets, I feel comfortable using them in the game, but again, not to sequence break, only at times where it feels appropriate to do it. So we got our powerbomb expansion, we learned how to morph ball in midair, we learned how to wall jump. So now we can do those things. I mean, again, we could have technically done those at any time. But I think that's the interesting part of the game. You're not forced to learn those things in order to do them from the start of the game, which I think is really neat. Okay, let's just kill these enemies so we can charge our speed boost. And then we fall into the floor. Another bottomless pit. You love to see it. Another animal buddy, and a recharge station, which is important if you need it, because he's going to teach us a move here that requires energy. So let's follow him. Alright, we're following you, buddy. So this is Shine Sparking. You can store a speed boost, and then you can Shine Spark in a variety of directions to break blocks and just get places quickly. But it requires you to spend energy as you are speed boosting, which can be a bit prohibitive. You can see that it took away quite a lot of our energy tanks. Anywho, that's everything in Briarstar. I just wanted to make this circle because this feels like the appropriate time in the game where we're supposed to be learning those moves. We're gonna spin jump up into this tube and then morph ball through it to grab this missile. You do not have to midair morph ball in order to get through there, but you do need to spin jump to fit in there in the first place. Okay, so now we've just made a circle around here, and there's our gate of no return that we've purposefully gone through again. And we just made a nice little circle up through Criteria, back down through Briarstar, and here we are. Back to Red Tower, at which point all that work to have climbed back up it was to get power bombs. Now we're going to go back down. Don't go through that orange hatch. Still can't do much in there. It's tempting. Let's go ahead and just refill our energy since we're here. Okay. And we're going back to Norfair now. Now, we didn't have to make that circle through Briarstar. I pretty much timed that now because it felt appropriate to do it now to learn those skills, quote-unquote, learn them at this point in the game. Also to go and check out the statue since we destroyed our first boss. I don't plan on doing that every time we fight a boss, but again, now just felt like the right time. You do have to make that circle through eventually to get those items, and now feels like the best time to do it. Through our little transit tube. And down to Norfair. Now, there are a few pickups in Norfair here that are a little obnoxious to get. This is the video with the obnoxious pickups. Hopefully we can get them with minimal effort. It took some practice, but we'll see how it goes. And we get our Norfair map finally, now that we have power bombs. Pretty big zone, a lot to explore here still. Okay, we're going to head back up. And if you recall, when we speed boosted through this, it did break the floor and reveal these power bomb blocks. Now we can go through them. Okay, this one can be a little janky. Don't fall when you come in. He'll go back right. Freeze this fella. And that was a remarkable save by me. All the blocks are crumbly, and jumping off crumbly blocks can be surprisingly difficult. It's just something that you learn, but generally, you're not expected to do it. Generally, you hit these and then you fall, and trying to hit jump right when you hit it tends to work. It's just the timing is very difficult. I found that starting to hit jump before you hit the blocks actually gives me a little more success. Okay, we're gonna hop down here for our next mini-boss. this is Crocomire. He's a goof. He's just a big goofball. Who doesn't love Crocomire? So just hit him with whatever you can in his mouth when he opens up. It's kind of a little tug of war here. He's trying to keep us back by shooting this stuff out of his mouth. As he gets closer to the edge, he's going to be a lot more aggressive and moving back towards you. So you want to preempt his mouth opening like that. Because he's going to, again, start moving back pretty much immediately. Super Missile makes him move back 3, I think. Generally, this is a very poor waste of ammo, but we got him. It's a very graphic death for the Super Nintendo, but you see the little bubbles going along the bottom of the screen. Crocomire, you goof. I sort of just feel bad for him. It's graphic, but we got him. And now we're going to grab a new item here, which is actually... it's going to lead to one of the most obnoxious pickups in the game, in my opinion. I'm just getting some super missiles back here because I wasted a ton on Crocomire. Okay, let's head down. Can't do anything in that door, so we're just going to drop. Okay, did not realize I still had missiles. Okay, quick detour here to grab one missile tank, and then we head back. Again, the next upgrade is one that is essential, but also kind of irritating to use. I don't mind running through the acid, that's fine. And then back down we go. So these blocks are power bombs, so we break those so that we can charge up our speed booster. Whee! Which lets us get to the upper left here, which is our next upgrade. And this is the grappling beam. It's okay. Eventually we can outclass it completely, but for now we have to use it. And this is where we have to try to get a pretty difficult grappling puzzle missile upgrade. I'm going to do my best. Okay, this last one is the hard part. And I actually got it. Oh my goodness, first try. You love to see it. So we grab our missile expansion. You can get this with a shine spark from the bottom a lot easier. If it took me too many tries, I would have just done that, but we don't have to now. But we do have to clear this stuff again so that we can jump, and also we have to fill in the bottom left map. I mean, I don't have to, but I'm going to. I found the trick to that grapple. I mean, there's not really a trick. You just have to be good at grappling. The hardest part is because they're moving. I found the best way to do it is to make sure you're aligning yourself horizontally with them, trying to get them at an angle or going straight up. You're leaving a lot more to chance. The last one, you can't really go horizontally to, which is why it's particularly difficult. So that's why I feel like it's very chance-based, frankly. Okay, we jump up here, and we go back through the door. You can open doors and kill enemies with the grapple beam, too. Not every enemy can get killed by the grappling beam, but many of them can. And many of them can be one-shot by it. But you can use those grapple blocks now, which opens up a lot of the game to us, you will see. And you want to get a little momentum going on it. This is for the map. Don't at me about it. This is a case where it's like, you just jump down here in order to fill the map. And then we get some pickups too. We're gonna jump back up slowly. This is to remind you, usually you get a new item and the game likes to remind you, like, hey, you still can't do stuff, by the way, so don't get too greedy. There's still a lot of things you can't go through, like water. Okay, and now we're back up at the top, and we can leave. Delightful. Just real quick. Gonna jump in here, reveal the save station, but not use it. Okay, let's see if we can get a big grapple over. Not bad. Again, power bomb upgrades certainly don't hurt, but they're probably the least valuable upgrade we're getting at this point. Missiles, energy tanks, and super missiles still kind of the name of the game. And it's not necessary to grapple here. We can just jump. And we're just going to head back the way we came. We can grab another upgrade to the right of where Crocomire was. And we never have to come down here again. This was strictly to kill Crocomire and get the grappling beam. But energy tank, fantastic. You love to see it. All right. And then back the way we came. You can kind of do these little hops with the grappling beam, which is important because there are many times when there's stuff below you that is going to be like enemies beneath you that are trying to like jump up and grab you and stuff like that. So, okay, head to the right. Haven't been this way yet. Don't need to use that because we just got an energy tank. And once again, grapples. So this is an example where you want to do the little hops because we got these grabbers at the bottom trying to grab us, wouldn't you know? Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. We can just jump out of it. It's a good thing that wasn't so deep that we couldn't get out. And then this was here the whole time. The more you know. But it was a one-way thing, so we were never able to go that way. So now that we have the grapple beam, we can go back to an area that we passed last episode where I had commented like, oh, you probably want to go in there, but you don't have the equipment to do it. Could always wall jump and sequence break it. Momentum taking me right into the lava. You hate to see it. Gets me every time, honestly. These little tiny hops, again, you want to practice those. They're harder than they look, but they're critical in this game for sure. Okay, so now in here... we can go in through the red hatch, and we can make our way across these platforms. The blue button is weirdly missing. That's just a graphical glitch. It's just a blue button. So we could have gotten this decently earlier, but now we have the grapple beam, which lets us go across the grapple blocks. Again, assuming you don't sequence break with wall jumping up here to get this red hatch. For our next beam upgrade, the wave beam. Again, there's no explanation on what these things do, but you generally learn pretty fast. This lets you shoot through objects. Not enemies, but objects. So the terrain is no longer going to be in our way when we are trying to hit things, which is good. It synergizes really well with the ice beam. And we're back to upper bubbles. So like here, we can shoot these enemies through the bubbles and use the grapple. Okay, and that leads us into this next room, and then I accidentally shot the bottom left and made this platform come up. Very strong, how could I have known dude situation there. Fell in once again. Which leads to a whole separate room, not just a quick upgrade. Wave beam is helpful in here because we can shoot these enemies through the platforms where they're popping up from. Okay, and then we're going to grab this reserve tank first. And then that platform is destroyed into a missile. Again, not sure how you might be expected to know that, because on the minimap there's the dot, but that doesn't tell you that there's two in the same place. Anywho, now we just have to get out of here. Good luck. We did it just fine. All right, fantastic. Kind of a weird little upgrade area there, honestly. The reserve tanks, I feel like, are the upgrades that are generally the hardest to get. Alright, save station revealed. And now we can use power bombs to go down through the floor this time. And we want to get the heck out of here. But we can get some upgrades along the way. Ooh, map. Okay, we got it. Don't worry. We got the map. So now we're just trying to circle our way back to the start, but we want to go through the areas we haven't been yet in order to collect anything that we hadn't gotten. So we're back down kind of above where we fought Crocomire, and by kind of I mean we're exactly above where we fought Crocomire. But now we can go up. And let's hit this save station. I think this is probably a good spot to stop for today. It's been about 20 minutes. Again, a lot of good collections, and we got 2 pretty irritating missile expansions without too much heartache. Those 2, I feel like the one where you have to freeze the enemy and get the one that's in the wall, and then the grapple, quote-unquote, puzzle without shine sparking. Difficult stuff, but we got them. I'm pretty happy with how this episode has gone. We accomplished a lot. All right, thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.